Wealth, fame, power. Gold Roger, the king of pirates, attained everything this world has to offer. The words he uttered just before his death drove people to seas. My treasure, if you want it, you can have it. Find it. I left everything this world has to offer there.
And so the men head for the Grand Line in pursuit of their dreams. The world has truly entered a great pirate era.
Yo, what's up? Hello. Welcome to the Sustainable Strawhats podcast with your hosts Los and Liv.
Hello.
This is our very first episode here on the Sustainable Sunny, and we're here to review One Piece chapter 998 titled Ancient Zoans. How you doing today, Liv?
I'm excited to join you in these weekly conversations about One Piece, since you are the one who introduced me to the series, so thank you.
Oh, of course.
It is our absolute favorite. We really love Luffy's story. We are caught up on both the anime and manga, so it's fun to look forward to these weekly releases. Since we are in the Cool Kids Club of manga readers, you will be spoiled if you listen. So now that you have that warning, let's get into the chapter.
Coming into the chapter, there's going to be a cover art spread of God and Neru laying down with a really big kitty, laying down, listening to some music. They're probably taking a nap, but, you know, they're kind of snugging, cuddling together. And then there's a mouse that's kind of looks a little like, why are you guys sleeping here with both his hands on his hips, you know? He looks a little disappointed. What do you think, Liv?
Wait, who looks disappointed?
The mouse character? The one that's
yeah, no, I think he's just jealous.
Jealous of Neru or the kitty?
Both of them. He's just like, why are they enjoying a nice, sunny day?
Here.
Actually, he kind of looks like a butler.
Yeah,
he's probably like their servant.
A little true, yeah. That could be a Neru's butler. That's a good way of pointing at that. I actually didn't look at it. I'm hoping he returns to the story at least by the end.
How long has it been since he was last in the story?
In the manga, it's gonna be now roughly 700, maybe 750 chapters since he's last mainly mentioned.
Okay, yeah, no. Wow.
And then a rough, in the anime, it's probably a rough, I gotta say, at least 500 to 600 episodes, maybe 7 too.
I don't think Oda's hinting at a reappearance.
Maybe not too soon, huh? Let's get into the chapter. Going back to where the last chapter, 997, ended, Onigashima is kind of floating up in the sky now above the roaring sea. Kaido's crew is now realizing that the island is now floating, and they're kind of baffled by it because this is kind of a ridiculous feat.
Going back, when Kaido first said he was going to take his operations to the flower capital, I didn't think he was actually going to lift the entire island.
Right. That kind of, in a literal sense, that makes sense, but...
Yeah, I thought he was just going to pack his booze and, leave, but not lift the entire island. People are going to be, looking up at the falling rocks, and I hope Oda draws something, crazy falling. Imagine, a lemur, but instead of the lemur's head, it's Venus flytrap or something crazy. Just falling from Onigashima.
Or possibly Panda Man. We always see Panda Man in the most random of panels, but that's a good place to put him at, actually. As Kaido's crew is left wondering, it won't fall, will it? Who would have thought Lord Kaido could do something as outrageous as this?
And why is Marco the Phoenix here? Whose side is he on?
Chopper seems to be running and screaming because he's on fire. That fire coming from Marco the Phoenix. When last chapter he arrived and made his appearance known to the remaining Straw Hats on the live floor, they were left with all the ice Oni monsters created by the Queen's prize plague bullet.
We see Chopper here. He's crying. He has the fire on him. He's screaming. And then we have Zoro and Brook yelling, and they're
like, yo, hold up, man. Oi. Marco then asks him, is it hot? Chopper quickly notices that the flames Marco set aflame on him don't burn or hurt him. The flames are just at the right temperature to suppress the virus, he notices. Dr. Chopper, he hears. Ming Tribe nurse Tristan and Dr. Miyagi arrive on the scene to alert Chopper on the current process of mass production of antibodies for the Ice Oni plague. Thank you. I can focus better inside the tower. Marco realizes that Chopper is left in the big danger of the live hall with the Ice Oni and performs a massive scale technique called passive flame that proceeds to neutralize the virus, defrosting the body or keeping it at the right temperature. Queen's pissed off, he's like, Marco, what the hell's he doing here? That motherfucker.
I knew that Marco would come. help calm the virus with his regenerative flames. And I'm glad we see Chopper getting some help, because hopefully as it continues that he will be able to fight, and I hope to see a more controlled Monster Point. You know, Choppy needs his credit.
Yeah, he does. I agree with you. He needs to kind of show up at least his offensive prowess here in Wano. That would be kind of cool for him to do. I was kind of personally expecting Marco and Chopper to have like a doctoral standoff, or like a really cool smart scene amongst the two. But, I mean, maybe we'll get a little more interaction with them later on in the arc.
Yeah, probably once they're all cured or whatnot.
All cured, or maybe pushed into like a more worse or dangerous situation, I dare say. Omasa, the Yakuza boss from Yuran, begins to stall back to his senses, as he is also hit by Marco's passive flame. The other Yakuza bosses rendezvous at the entrance of the tower that Chopper and his staff are working in order to give them proper time and environment to help save everyone. Queen takes notice to this, and he doesn't seem to take Marco's meddling too well. He gets pretty pissed off as Marco tells the Strawhats that he has a grip on the situation and a handle on the live floor, and offers Zoro and the other Strawhats to be flown up to the top of the dome where Big Mom and Kaido are.
Yeah, so we have Robin, Zoro, and Brooke talking to Marco, but they don't want to leave Chopper.
They're kind of a little worried about their small companion. You know, Chopper's not the biggest person on his normal point. There's a funny moment where Hyogoro states that, "Don't worry, Mr. Skeleton, we'll protect Mr. Raccoon." You know, poor Chopper, he just doesn't get his respect and all that much in a reference. And then, in a really ominous silhouette, Apu is getting back on his feet. He's a little shaken up after Zoro's one sword style attack. He claims that he'll be screwed if he loses the antibody Chopper has gained, because then he springs into action, attacking Chopper, when suddenly Drake transforms into his full Allosaurus form and captures Apu with his vice grip fangs and spits Apu out on the floor, stating to the Strawhats, "If you consider me your ally, leave the live floor to us." And Zoro confirms his cooperation by replying, "You're smarter than you look, aligning yourself with the winning team, eh?"
We see like the subordinates of Kaido, or even of Drake, and they're like, "Mr. Drake, so he's really gone over to the enemy's side?"
Yeah, they're kind of coming up to realization that Drake is a double agent. They're just coming to realization that he's no longer cooperating with the Beast Pirates or amongst them.
That totally shocked me when it first came out that he was a double agent. I didn't even think of that. Yeah, and that is so smart.
Yeah, I honestly was not expecting it either, because what's crazy to me is that I thought Drake was just a full-on pirate. I thought his backstory of him just being, you know, an ex-Marine was cool enough, but I wasn't expecting him to still be a double agent and working for the Marines still. But, you know, that being said, Drake, here where he's at now, he's definitely a really good ally for the Straw Hats, given that there's not too many people on the Straw Hat side right now, so any help is welcome.
Yeah, he is a good ally, and he right now is using Apu as a Dino Chew toy.
As a chew toy.
Apu cannot get back up. Okay, he's already, got attacked a few times. He's now literally in the mouth of a dinosaur. He could get up again, maybe once or twice. No, once. I think he has enough.
One more time?
Yeah, for one more time. After that, I don't know. He just keeps getting beat down.
Yeah, he keeps taking L's, this guy, Apu. He doesn't have any L's in his name, but he's been taking a lot here in this fight. Apu, he's durable. He was able to get up after being hit by Eustace Kid's, what was that, Punk
Rotten?
No, not Punk Rotten. Punk Jones or Punk Jeezy, something like that. Then he took a one-sword style attack directly from Zoro. Him getting up just after that kind of amazes me. I thought he was going to be...
Because that's three. He just got attacked 3 times.
3 different times already here just since the live hall party started, so...
He's just launching himself at the enemies, throwing himself out there. That's how loyal he is.
Yeah, you know what? For one thing, yeah, he's not, he's not a pansy. He's not running away. Or, I mean... Yes, he is. Yes and no, actually, because he is trying to leave Onigashima because of the Oni plague. I mean, I wouldn't want to be there either. I mean, nobody with the right sense of mind would want to stay inside that live floor, honestly. Apu's coming to his last breath pretty soon. I don't know about that being death or that just being out of the fight.
We'll see one more from him.
Yeah.
One more fight, or sacrifice. He'll just throw himself out there in front of the enemy. But I do think we'll see more of his devil fruit. And I don't think he'll die, but I think he'll just retreat, you know.
Yeah, he'll retreat and
cower
maybe
away.
Yeah, cower away, and he'll probably utilize his devil fruit to one way or another to his advantage, you know?
It would be great to see him versus Usopp.
I think so, too. Yeah.
Or, no, actually, Brook. Because Battle of the Musicians, remember, I mentioned that before.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
For Usopp now that I'm thinking about it, because both long-range, mid-range attacks, and it's, you know, you can't see sound much, right? You can't see the attacks coming.
That's like a different kind of moving target, right?
But I think also Usopp, he could, like, be able to see the sound waves or something special. He's the sniper.
Oh, through his observation haki.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, nice. Yeah, that's definitely a way Usopp could be highlighted here at the Battle of Onigashima.
Yeah, he could pick himself back up.
Yeah, he already took a really big L from Ulti already, so...
I know it's a very small panel, but of Zoro's face, and he's just, you know, when he's telling Drake his replies, telling him that good job, you know, aligning yourself with us.
He's like, nice, buddy.
His smirk, like, you could feel that. It's just so Zoro.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just that little panel just has so much sass in it.
They were just fighting in, like, not in a coordinated manner, but they were just allies, you know, side to side fighting against Apu, so they do have a means of respect towards one another. We cut to a scene inside the castle on the 4th floor with Jinbei and Luffy beating around what seems to be cat smile users, or just cat looking like people. Jinbei says that Sanji probably sensed the presence of a strong enemy, and he's stopping them on the 3rd floor. And then Luffy kind of makes a funny remark saying, I see. Seems like my observation haki still needs some work.
That is just too funny.
Yeah, because
Sanji is literally running after a woman's cry.
He's just, using his woman radar, so it is his observation haki, but it's not what Luffy thinks.
And I actually think Luffy's not saying it as a joke. I think he's actually saying it like, I literally need to work on it.
Yeah, I think so too. Jinbei then states to Luffy to leave the 4th floor to Jinbei as he seems to be facing a formidable opponent. Not yet shown on the panel. We cut into a new scene back inside the dome with Frankie blasting off his launchers at Sasaki's armor corps. As Sasaki tells his men to move aside, he rams the general, Frankie backing him, making him tumble a couple times, as now Sasaki's devil fruit is revealed to be the dragon fruit, ancient model Triceratops, thus equalizing the battle, in my opinion, between him and the General Frankie. I personally believe that the General might be torn to pieces in this fight. No death for Frankie, but he might have to abandon his Battle Frankie 38, because just giving credit where it's due, Sasaki is a huge dinosaur and would be likely to pierce the General a couple times.
Yeah, I think this matchup is great. Evenly matched. I'm sure Frankie will get banged up a bit, you know, but overall stand up on top. You know, Dino versus Robot is pretty good.
Yeah, and Sasaki makes an interesting statement saying that dinosaurs are actually the strongest creatures ever. Dino versus machine. Who's going to win?
I'm sure we'll all see a power-up from the Straw Hats in this arc. I don't think Frankie's will come during this fight. Maybe he'll be saving it for later on, you know, during a rescue or, you know, during not a different fight, but or assisting the Straw Hats up top. I
feel as it would be appropriate for more development on Frankie as he realizes his ultimate weapon isn't as super as he wishes it to be. Later on in the story, he can create a newer, better model. When it comes down to the wire, I don't believe Sasaki will remain in his full Zoan form throughout the whole fight. You know, he'll probably revert back to his normal form. Maybe towards the end, we'll see more of Sasaki's swordplay. He did unsheath that against Yamato, but very briefly.
So a dinosaur that has a sword.
That has a sword also, yes. It's kind of...
But Frankie has launchers, bullets, right?
Bullets, you know, launchers, he has all this stuff up his sleeves. Laser beams.
So, yeah, laser beams, exactly. So that's why I think Frankie has the advantage here. In a way, and, you know, but Sasaki's a lot bigger.
Yeah, I think, Frankie does have a bigger arsenal of attacks, but he's got
shielded.
A big opponent. Yeah, he's got a big shielded opponent in front of him.
Or maybe he could turn into, like, a robot dino.
Yeah.
You know, he could do a free form.
There could be a different transformation to the General Frankie, yeah. Overall, this is going to be a great fight to yet again prove Frankie's fighting's worth, because to me he's in the top dog crew of the Straw Hats, and he just hasn't had the appropriate chance to shine. One thing to mention though, Sasaki retains all his similar facial features in his full Zoan form, even the hat. That's kind of funny, just because like I guess his big choo-choo steam hat just grows with him. I don't know, that's kind of funny. And he gains the upper edge as his crew cheers him against the General Frankie, closing the scene with the statement, "Dinosaurs are the strongest creatures to have ever lived," trying to intimidate Frankie.
Cutting back to the third floor, the banquet hall, where Sanji manages to escape from the room he was being held captive at. You see him running, and you see the snake girl following him. Hey, wait up!
Oh yeah, with her long neck.
He's still tied up and handicapped by the webs, and he trips, caught up by Black Maria and the others. Now we are introduced with Black Maria's devil fruit, the spider fruit, ancient Zoan model, Rosamagal Gravuguli.
Good pronunciation. Good
Anyways,
first try.
Yeah, you can look that up. It's an ancient tarantula. I actually did some research on the spider, Los, and I didn't find any specific clues. Nothing stood out. It's just a bird-eating spider, and it's the oldest of its kind, so maybe that's, something else that, Oda's trying to hint at, like how old, these devil fruit powers can go back.
Right, these ancient
Zoans,
models,
exactly.
Right. Okay.
I think it's the oldest one we've seen.
The spider?
Yeah.
It's older than the dinosaurs, you think?
Yep, it is. Uh-huh.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's like prehistoric.
All of Black Maria's subordinates seem to be looking like yokai also, or like some really strange smile type users. Sanji's still in disbelief and doesn't surprise everybody, believes he's in heaven because he's surrounded by women.
And when he's asking that, the girls are just like, is he nuts?
Yeah, is he like,
we're powerful women and we're like gonna eat you.
Yeah, we're like gonna kill you, man, and you're over here gazing at us like it's it's something to be proud of.
But in the Jaya arc, we find out Sanji's actually fears spiders. So, 1, she's a woman. 2, she's a spider. This isn't a good match for Sanji.
No, not at all. He's in a really big disadvantage, and he could be liable to be getting really hurt or even coming to a fatal injury if they just happen to take advantage of a situation. Another thing to point out here in the panel where they revealed Black Maria's devil fruit is that this fruit is a bit weird in aesthetic and appearance, just because it looks like a smile fruit. Black Maria her upper half of the body is fully intact and no spider appearance. The bottom half of her is like the fully transformed spider, so this is kind of like, I don't know if this is a devil fruit or if this is a smile, because the upper half of her body could just be a decoy and she's the actual spider, or her aesthetic is just a little different. I'm not too sure.
Yeah, so upper half Maria, bottom half spider.
Yeah, we'll see where Oda's going with this.
I think Robin will intervene.
Robin could have 8 arms. She could have 800.
Yeah, and I want to see her on a full-on fight because that's not something we've gotten. She can handle herself, Robin. I think, her versus Black Maria is pretty good.
I think that's a good matchup too. It's what I've been kind of looking forward to, but given their locations, it's just not really directly going to happen right now. Maybe an interaction, but I hope they actually do come to fights.
Not in this panel, but I think the very first time we got introduced to Black Maria, when she tied up Sanji the first time, somebody else was tied up with him.
Yeah, that's right. There was the subordinates had made a reference saying that this is the second person we have tied up. Well, at least in their custody, let's say.
Is that friend or foe?
Yeah, it has to be. At this point, I don't believe it to be a foe at the very least. If anybody, not somebody not allied with the Straw Hats, but not an enemy, I think.
Going back to Drake, do you think his crew will come into play? Maybe it'll be one of his crew members, or like does he have an assistant or like a second man?
Oh, okay, like a secret subordinate in this crew, or like a spy.
Somebody else.
That's actually a really good take. I didn't think of that because I'm trying to.
No, not a spy. Like his pirate crew is with him, right?
Believe so.
So I'm talking like his second-hand man, like how Zoro is to Luffy. Like who's Drake's second-hand man or strongest second? Because somebody has to come into play eventually.
Right. Okay. So it could just he could just be using somebody from already inside of his own crew, keeping up tabs with him on his Marine affiliation.
If Drake rebels, his crew will rebel with him.
Okay,
So I think that maybe Black Maria has somebody like tied up from Drake's crew, not necessarily an ally we already know of, like you said, but an ally that we're going to get introduced to, or like, Yamato's friend, somebody we don't know, or part of Drake's crew, or somebody from Law's crew. I doubt that's the case because they're on the submarine, right? But somebody else that is an ally, but from somebody else's crew, that's also part of this that we don't know about.
Okay, so you believe a brand new character is going to be introduced overall?
Yeah, but not something huge. Just
just a new character.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah, I actually
who will know who Sanji is.
Yeah, hopefully they'll recognize who he is and kind of like team up and be like, hey, let's take Black Maria down or let's get out of here, man. Like it's not a good situation for us right here. Coming back to the 4th floor, titled The Cat Cafe. Appearing to be Who's domain with his feline subordinates. Some look to have smile fruits, other more of the cat gimmick.
He's thinking, Straw Hat got away. We've caused Kaido some trouble. He's telling Jinbei, stop bullying my men, will you?
Who's Devil Fruit is introduced here in this panel too as the Cat Fruit, Ancient Model Zone, Saber-Tooth Tiger.
What is Jinbei bullying his men for? Oh! Because he's fighting his men. Okay, then Jinbei corrects him and says, I'm the helmsman of the Straw Hat Pirates. I'd rather you used the title with more worth to it. That's a really empowering thing Jinbei just said, because he's just like, no, don't call me that. I'm not, the Knight of the Sea anymore. I'm one of the Straw Hats, so get it right.
Right, yeah, no, he kind of corrects him a little snotty right there. Who claims to have referenced him as he did because of an interaction once before, or that he's seen Jinbei before. Jinbei asks, if I could see your face, it'd probably jog my memory. Who replies with, too bad you won't be seeing it, as an obvious refusal. Personally, I'm wondering if who is a true swordsman or not, and I'm also a part of popular belief that Sanji and Jinbei are going to eventually switch opponents, given that they're on the adjacent floors from each other, and for battle advantage purposes. Jinbei as a fishman doesn't bear well with claws and fangs, but does hold the advantage of water. Sanji is at a complete disadvantage and is at risk of being seriously injured if not placed in a different situation. At the very least, his availability will be disrupted. Sanji already having experiences with claws and fangs, Jabra for example from Enna's lobby, can reclaim his hunter persona and have a better suited match for himself.
So where do you think Jinbei will go?
Well, if they switch opponents, Jinbei will be matched up with Black Maria, and I think water against spiders is a clear advantage. So hopefully they make something work. The size that Black Maria is, she is definitely more than 3 times Jinbei's size. It's definitely a very, very real possibility. Outside the dome, Page 1 and Otzi go full zone form, crashing outside the building they were originally fighting Nami and Usopp at, leaving Hihimaru beaten and battered. Page 1 is wondering where did those cowards run off to. Ulti expresses her urge to crack Nami's skull in half. Then we quickly cut back inside the dome in the storeroom. Yamato seems to be treating the wounded Shinobu as they are looking over a broken statue dragon that sort of resembles a Chinese dragon, similar to Kaido and Momonosuke.
She's telling Momonosuke, it's been abandoned here after my friend broke it. Your friend? Yes! A few years ago, he came to kill my father. And then we see Yamato, and then in the background in silhouette is...
Ace!
Yup, Ace.
Fort Gas, the motherfucking Ace.
And that is the end of chapter 998.
The chapter was pretty satisfying overall. It revealed all the devil fruits of the Flying Six, and that was really important because we were all kind of wondering who had what devil fruit, who was what dinosaur, who was what. We still don't know who's who.
I don't know who's who is. I don't have a guess for who's who is.
I would just have to... It's somebody a part of an old pirate crew that probably got beat up by Jinbei. Who's who probably was the captain of his crew, or at the very least a formidable pirate crew member. So
just like Jinbei steps up to this powerful position in the Straw Hats. Who's who also stepped up to this powerful position in Kaido's crew. And so they both gained strengths. It'll take us to a flashback back when they clashed before, and they're just, weak kids. They're probably, half their age as they were right now, half their strength, and now they're gonna, take it back.
I agree. Yeah, they've interacted once before. Then as soon as Jinbei sees whose face, I think it'll jog his memory a little bit, and it'll bring back to the scene a small flashback of when they fought back then.
Yeah, exactly.
We're in the middle of the action right now, and I want to see more of that. I don't want to see a flashback right now,
I think we'll see a flashback of Ace. Since we left off with Ace, it has to open with, or not open with, there has to be more information about why is Ace important to Wano. This is the first time we've, seen him in Wano, and if he's Yamato's friend, that's so important. This makes me wonder, because we're so close to chapter 1000, how does Ace play a part?
Right, like why is Ace important in Wano? What was his business here? Why does he matter in Wano?
Next chapter, I hope to see the beginning of the Flying Six fights. Chopper will mass produce the antibody. Brooke will stay with him, I think. Marco will take Zoro up to the top a few floors to meet with Luffy. Like I said before, Robin will swap places with Sanji. Not really swap. She'll make it up to Sanji. Sanji will leave and, reunite with Luffy and Zoro.
Yeah, no, probably there'll be a small team up against the Riff Raff and against the Ice Oni there at the Live Hall, and then all of the Straw Hats and the island allies will start making their way through the tower, just as Luffy and Jinbei and Sanji did, but hopefully they don't get caught up in some business like Sanji. So we can defeat Kaido, Big Mom's up there too, and now I just don't know how the battle's gonna go. There's 2 Yonko at the rooftop.
The monster trio, Sanji, Zoro, Luffy making it to the top. Seeing all the scabbards there, wiped out. I think Marco will be there, with them as soon as he takes Zoro up to the top and heal Kiku's arm. But now that I think about it, Queen and King are there to stop Marco. So, that kind of backs my theory a little bit. I didn't think about until right now. But we'll switch over to Law, because, where he's at right now, what we saw last chapter was at the bottom of Onigashima, looking at the poneglyphs. I have this theory, it's wild, stay with me, that I think, Onigashima right now is floating in midair. It's going to crash down on innocent people, at the Flower Capital. I think Law can make a room big enough and, so powerful that as soon as Kaido drops Onigashima, Law will swap it, somewhere else, like in the middle of the ocean. The Devil Fruit users are going to have to hang on as soon as this happens.
What do you think Kaido is? You think he's just a dragon? You think he's an Oni? Do you think he's a Devil Fruit user?
Kaido was born a human with the capability of turning into dragon, similar to a werewolf. A werewolf born a human can transform.
I think this is going to be revealed when Kaido falls into the ocean, but then flies back up and telling everybody, the readers, that he in fact doesn't have a devil fruit. A really big thank you for everybody joining us today for One Piece chapter review for 998. Follow us on Instagram to be a part of more One Piece content, and we will be seeing you soon for chapter 999. Sustainable Strawhats. Setting sail, y'all.
Bye-bye.
ルフィは海賊王になる男だ。